What if Anakin Skywalker cut down Mace Windu but still never turned to the dark side? That's our story for today. Before we begin, Bad Batch Season 3 just released its trailer. I'm going to be doing a live reaction to it on the members only join area. So if you want to become a member and see that, just click the join button or link in the description. Alright, that'll be happening in a few hours, and let's get right into it. Story begins with Anakin Skywalker watching as Palpatine is blasting lightning at Mace Windu. Windu is deflecting it right back at Palpatine, and finally, Palpatine has to stop from exhaustion, along with the lightning burning himself. From here, everything is a blur for Anakin, as he sees Windu lift his saber for the kill. Anakin now has to make a decision, and he remembered the regret that he felt for killing the unarmed Dooku. He couldn't let Windu do the same. He needs Palpatine. So as Windu swung down, Anakin suddenly swung up through his wrist, and Windu was left screaming as Palpatine screamed unlimited power and poured lightning onto him once more. And now, as Anakin watched this, he immediately regretted everything. Windu had yelled that Palpatine was too dangerous to be left alive, and now Anakin saw that maybe he was right. Palpatine was showing now just how dangerous he truly could be, and Anakin was blinded by his need to save Padme. But now he was realizing that he was trusting a Sith Lord to be the one kind enough to help him. Before Anakin could think any longer, Palpatine threw Windu out of the window, and Anakin watched him go, then tried to grab Windu with the Force, maybe slow his fall, but Anakin couldn't tell at all if it worked. Now he looked down to see Palpatine slowly getting up, and Anakin pointed his saber down at him, telling him that nothing has changed. He is still under arrest. And all of a sudden, Anakin felt anger in the air like nothing before. But it wasn't coming from him. It was coming from Palpatine. He told Anakin he was being foolish, that there was no coming back from what he just did. But Anakin didn't speak. Palpatine couldn't believe it, but he couldn't be arrested now. At this point, he was so close. He had just murdered 4 Jedi. This was the perfect moment to execute Order 66 and take the galaxy. How could Anakin do this, he wondered. So, of course, Palpatine raised his arms and blasted more lightning at Anakin this time. Anakin did expect this, and he began to deflect it. He didn't want Palpatine dead if he could truly save Padme, but the light side was pulling at Anakin more than ever before. As he deflected it, Anakin could feel Qui-Gon around him, and Anakin remembered a quote from Obi-Wan, passed down from Qui-Gon. "It matters which side we choose, even if there will never be more light than darkness. Even if there can never be more joy in the galaxy than there is pain. For every action we undertake, for every word we speak, for every life we touch, it matters." Qui-Gon said, "I don't turn toward the light because it means someday I'll win some sort of cosmic game. I turn towards it because it is the light." And from Obi-Wan to Qui-Gon, Anakin knew now that it was his responsibility to stay in the light, continuing to defend against Palpatine's lightning onslaught. Anakin knew he's made mistakes, that he has touched the darkness, and there's no doubt that he will do it again. But the light side is the work of a lifetime. And so despite the darkness inside of Anakin pulling at him, he made this choice, pushing the lightning back at Palpatine with extreme power. It hit him hard, and the Sith Lord was completely fried by it, dying on the floor. Anakin finished what Windu had started. And now, the room went eerily quiet as the echoes of lightning faded away, and Anakin was left standing completely alone. In the other room, 3 Jedi Council members, Agen Kolar, Saesee Tiin, Kit Fisto, were dead, and in here the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine was dead, and out in the streets, Master of the Order, Mace Windu, was gone. Anakin was alone, and he quickly realized how terrible this all looked for him. In the distance, he could hear boots running, likely Coruscant and Royal Guard members, so Anakin ran to the window and he jumped, landing in a speeder a good distance away. And as he landed, the citizen was yelling at him in a language that he didn't quite understand, but Anakin mind-tricked him to have him land by his speeder. And now once Anakin was in his own speeder, he flew away to Padme's apartment, instead of the Jedi Temple. Anakin saw Padme, and he ran up to her, hugging her, trying to describe everything that had happened, and even was apologizing, saying that he didn't know if he made the right choice. Padme asked Anakin how to slow down and tell her everything, so Anakin did, telling Padme about how Palpatine told him that he was a Sith Lord, then having to wait in the council chambers, and of course, he just couldn't wait. Then Anakin got to the part about Windu and told Padme the truth about that he played a huge role in killing Windu, but quickly he realized his mistake. And now, Palpatine is dead. Padme was beyond shocked to hear all of this. Anyone would be, really. Sure, she had put together a large delegation to urge Palpatine to end the war, but no one really suspected that Palpatine was playing both sides of it all. It was shocking, and it was tough to take in, but she assured Anakin that he made the right choice. Had he fallen to the dark side in order to try and save her, well, Padme simply wouldn't have been able to be with him any longer. She told Anakin that he must go back to the Jedi Temple and speak with the Council about this, and she will try and prepare to defend Anakin in court, should it come to that. Anakin thanked her, and now he took off for the temple. Once inside, he found Shakti, and they went to the communications room together, where Anakin found Grandmaster Yoda waiting. He'd felt a disturbance in the Force when Windu and Palpatine died and contacted the temple. Now Anakin described everything, but he did change a bit of the details. He said that Palpatine killed Windu, and technically that was the truth. It was just missing a few key details. Yoda said he would be making his way back to Coruscant soon to help Anakin deal with all of this, along with Kenobi, but he said the Jedi Order was indebted to him, then smiled before ending the call. The next few hours would be extremely tense for Anakin and the Jedi Order. With Palpatine dead and found in his office with 3 other dead Jedi, it was clear that the Jedi had assassinated him, and one of the royal guards said that he saw Anakin Skywalker fleeing the scene. So it was determined that Anakin was the one that assassinated the Chancellor, but the reason why was truly unknown. In the Senate, it was decided that Anakin get an immediate hearing to state his case to the people. He will be opposed by Tarkin, while Senator Amidala will help defend Anakin in court. Within hours, the session would begin. Yoda and Obi-Wan returned from their battles to witness this, along with many other senators and Jedi. It was being broadcasted on the HoloNet, as it was time for the Jedi to make his case for murdering the Supreme Chancellor. Padme and Anakin would state their case, saying that with him being a Sith, this helps to prove that he was working with Dooku, and this would in turn tie him back to the invasion of Naboo, Dooku's rise to power, the Military Creation Act, the Clone Wars. He is responsible for playing both sides of all of it. The proof was quite frankly easy to see, but soon enough, Tarkin walked up with his smug smile, telling them that these accusations were truly quite outlandish, and yet they bring no proof. And Tarkin looked up to Mas Amedda, saying they actually have a recording from Palpatine's office, just moments before he died. Physical proof. And now Tarkin had that recording play. It started with Palpatine saying, "Why, Master Windu? What a pleasant surprise." And Mace Windu said, "Hardly a surprise, Chancellor, and it will be pleasant for neither of us." Palpatine responded saying, "I'm sorry. Master Fisto, hello. Master Kolar, greetings. I trust you are all well. Master Tin, I see your horn has regrown. I'm very glad. What brings 4 Jedi Masters to my office at this hour?" Mace Windu then said, "We know who you are, what you are. We are here to take you into custody." Palpatine said, "I beg your pardon. What I am, when last I checked, I was Supreme Chancellor of the Republic that you are sworn to serve. I hope I misunderstand what you mean by custody, Master Windu. It speaks of treason." Then Mace Windu said, "You're under arrest." And Palpatine said, "Really, Master Windu, you cannot be serious. On what charge?" Mace Windu said, "You're a Sith Lord." And then Palpatine responded, "Am I? Even if true, that's hardly a crime. My philosophical outlook is a personal matter. In fact, the last time I read the Constitution anyway, we have very strict laws against this type of persecution. So I ask you again, what is my alleged crime? How do you expect to justify your mutiny before the Senate? Or do you intend to arrest the Senate as well?" Mace Windu said, "We're not here to argue with you." And then Palpatine said, "No, you're here to imprison me without trial, without even the pretense of legality. So this is the plan at last. The Jedi are taking over the Republic." And that is where the recording stopped. Those in attendance that were not Jedi were now yelling down at Anakin, calling the Jedi traitors, and Tarkin spoke again, saying that he will lay out what happened. Tarkin said that the Jedi went to arrest Palpatine, and when he showed even the slightest resistance, the Jedi killed him. And so, Tarkin continued, saying that in order to clean up their mess, the Jedi sent in Anakin Skywalker to kill the Jedi witnesses, make sure Palpatine was dead, and Anakin was unfortunately sloppy in his escape. If he was not seen leaving the office by the Royal Guard, it may have worked. And now Anakin felt like he was drowning. It was true what Windu said. Palpatine had control of the Senate and the courts. Somehow, the Senate got this doctored recording, and Royal Guards came to arrest Anakin. But suddenly, everyone paused as a new man in the arena yelled, "Stop!" And Anakin looked up now to see Windu, missing a hand, holding something in his other hand. Everyone gasped as Windu turned to the Senate, saying there is much more to the recording that was purposely left out. Windu barely survived everything, but Anakin used the Force to help ease his fall, barely keeping him alive. And Windu had gone to Palpatine's office to get the real recording, making it here just in time. And he was allowed to play the real recording. Soon, the evil of Palpatine could be heard. The screams of Aegon Kolar and Saesee Tiin were heard, then the voice of Palpatine said, "You have no idea how long I have waited for this," with an evil laugh. Then Windu skipped to the end, where Palpatine was screaming, "No, you will die," and lightning could be heard, along with the screams of Windu. Then it ended. The truth was out. The Jedi were right. Palpatine was a Sith, but not only that, he was evil and trying to take over, openly proclaimed to the Jedi that he was waiting for this moment. And now Windu spoke up, saying that if Anakin didn't show up in the end, all would have been lost. Now Anakin was kind of frozen in shock, wondering if Windu would turn on him here. But Windu cared about one thing above all, the Republic. He and Anakin would talk later, but for now, Anakin had saved the Republic, and Mace would not disclose that Anakin helped Palpatine initially. And now, with the truth about Palpatine truly revealed, Tarkin and Mas Amedda were taken away for purposely hiding evidence. Anakin and Padme won with the help of Windu. From here, the Jedi would return to the temple, while the Senate discussed life without Palpatine. They would decide to promote Bail Organa to interim chancellor, and he would immediately begin a process to end the war. In the temple, Windu was having his hand repaired, and he called Anakin in, alone, to speak with him. Anakin was afraid, but Windu told him to be at ease, saying that he understands. For decades, Palpatine worked to manipulate Anakin, and in the final seconds, Anakin was able to resist him, and do what was right by saving Windu, and killing the Sith. Anakin thanked him, extremely relieved, also understanding that he was unlikely to be made a Jedi Master for the time being. And all of this actually distracted Anakin from his nightmares, so a little bit later, he was informed that Padme was in labor, and he realized she could die. In a panic, Anakin rushed to the hospital, but all went well. Padme would give a safe birth to twins, and together, the two of them would take the twins to Naboo, leaving the Jedi and the Senate behind for a few years, until Luke and Leia were ready to be trained. And folks, that is our story for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought. The recording I did where Tarkin and Mas Amedda had a recording, presented it, was directly from the novelization, so it's not just something I made up. I know it's not in the movie. You know, in the movie, the Jedi kind of just walk up and tell Palpatine he's under arrest, but in the book, there's much more to it, so I wanted to integrate that kind of as proof to almost get Anakin in trouble, but then I wanted to have Windu come in late. I just wanted to keep Windu alive and have him ultimately choose to not be selfish against Anakin, but instead to side with Anakin, and I thought that was a different path, because, you know, Windu, I think, is much more, he just loves the Republic, so siding with the Republic instead of just being selfish, that was a path I wanted to try. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, join button, link in the description, as I'll be reacting to the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer. Thanks for checking this one out, and I'll see you in the next video.